Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Luxfolio's channel. Glad to see everybody here in the brand new year of 2022. We made it through 2021, guys. We got another beautiful year ahead of us. Dean, how have you held up through the transition?
Oh, you know what? Made it through New Year's okay, and looking forward to a healthy and prosperous 2022.
Wonderful. So yeah, glad to hear you made it. And before we dive too deep into this year, tell me about how you feel 2021 went. Do you feel good leaving it?
Yeah, no, I'm glad that that's in the rearview mirror. I mean, I think the company Luxfolio performed remarkably well. I mean, it's amazing that this time last year, Luxfolio was, basically an idea. It was an idea that was sort of spawned out of a finance company that said, hey, we've got the chops to really understand the risks and reward of getting into the crypto mining space. And we financed our way into 590 miners and then we closed out the year with almost a $10 million financing. So which was led by a really good group of underwriters. So I think that we really grew up a lot in 2021. I think that I think we started with zero revenue and we ended with 1.8 or 1.9 million dollars our last the month of November, December. So it was a good year and a lot of things happened, and I think that trajectory that we're on is going to actually increase. We're gonna add a lot of new machines. We're gonna add a lot of power this year. So it's shaping up to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. And not to take away from Luxfolio's thunder by any means, but I think it also lends itself to how fast crypto moves, right? It's pretty clear. It's like here's the path to the revenue. You can execute on it, and there it is, right?
Yeah, and it's interesting that as the price of Bitcoin began to wane later in the year, sort of in the fourth quarter there, that didn't stop the number of wallets that have been that are coming online is gone completely parabolic. So those two things are a little bit opposed, and it's a bit of a head scratcher, but I think it could be, in many ways, it could be explained away. In some respects, crypto has become the victim of its own success in 2021 because all of these institutions that have gotten involved with crypto over 2021, if they had a very modest weighting at the beginning of the year, 1%, well, they might have had that up to 3, 4, 5% in their portfolio, and they would have to recalibrate that before year end. So I think that might have explained some of the pressure that was on various cryptos. But I don't think that any logical person can look at 2021 and say that it was anything but a roaring success for the future of specifically Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, agreed. And that's kind of what happens when a currency is exposed to just raw, unregulated pressures, right? And that's interesting to see, and it's kind of eye-opening to see where things sit versus traditional markets. And we're seeing that again now with Kazakhstan, one of the big mining places for Bitcoin in the world, now going through some little bit of unrest, and it's showing in the price a little bit. But I think that's nowhere near a nail in the coffin for Bitcoin or Bitcoin mining or anything like that. If anything, it again shows it just reacts to pressures completely naturally and organically.
Yeah, I mean, the network is remarkably resilient. I think that it is, it goes back to this whole idea that we've talked about on previous videos, that this electrical powered money supply and we're seeing the kind of the confluence of the two things in Kazakhstan. On one side, we've got this electrical powered money supply in the form of the Bitcoin mining network, the part of it that happens to be over there, kind of going up against the kinetic energy money supply, which is the unrest and the fighting and things that are going on as a result of Russia's interest in Kazakhstan and interest in the Ukraine and all those types of things. So I think it kind of underscores again, in a subtle way, but for those of us that are paying attention, it's significant that Bitcoin is standing strong in the face of all of these challenges that it's going to face, and it's met every challenge so far. So I think as people begin, these challenges will create increased confidence in it, and I also think, just to touch on something else you said there, regulation is going to help it as well. Like it'll take out a lot of the volatility, because I think, at the moment, there's a lot of institutions, a lot of massive money that is sitting going, hey, we will sit on the sidelines until we really understand what the rules are. And we understand that there's rules, in and around leverage and how much leverage you can have on it and those types of things. And that will begin to sort of smooth the path. And, there's trillions of dollars that can and will diversify into the crypto world once there's some regulation around. And I think most people kind of, when they talk about regulation and crypto and regulation of Bitcoin, they usually say it as a bad thing, as a reason not to get involved in it. And I'm saying that when that regulation comes in, it's going to turn a switch on, and there's going to be, hundreds of billions or trillions of dollars that will be able to then pour into it. And that will be really the next opportunity for it to mature.
Yeah, agreed. I think you get different groups of people in crypto, and some of the people, and look, there is definitely a layer of excitement in being in a more unregulated market where there's not as much red tape, but oftentimes that red tape, for lack of a better term, will save your ass if things get bad. So
yeah, I think it's just a matter of time. The red tape, those of us that are sort of entrepreneurs and stuff, we like to moan and groan about the red tape, but I think that at the end of the day, regulation brings more eyeballs, brings more money, and thereby bringing more opportunity.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, obviously Bitcoin, it's going to survive these downs. And honestly, guys, like I at this point, I've been in crypto for 5-6 years now, and I don't ever look at it a time to pull out. I honestly 100% have never turned my money back into US dollars. I just sit and wait. And if it goes low enough, I say, well, there it is. Time for me to buy in again. So
yeah, the irony of the whole thing is there is volatility in Bitcoin, no question, crazy volatility. It's like it's gut wrenching at times. However, there's less volatility in the US dollar. It just moves one day or one way. Your buying power just continues to go down year after year after year after year. That's the nature of a fiat currency. That's what keeps everything propped up, is this sort of inflation, meaning that you have, your dollar gives you less buying power. So we can complain about the volatility in Bitcoin all we want. However, there is less volatility in the US dollar, but there is a certainty that you will be able to buy less with it tomorrow than you can today. So, I think you're probably wise in not turning it back into US dollars, because that's only going one direction. And that's the nature of the system. That's not a surprise. That's not me, being critical of the system. That is the system. So I think that I'll take the volatility.
fair enough. Yeah, agreed. I mean, in volatility is opportunity, everybody. And you guys don't have to take after me and keep it in crypto all the time. By all means, there's nothing wrong with realizing gains in the world. That's how you actually make money at the end of the day. I just personally am near crypto maximalist, much more on that side of things.
Yeah. No, I think the world is, if you look at it, nobody's really that excited about holding USD right now. And we can see that because we can see it in our real estate prices, and we can see it in our stock market, and we can see it in all of the hard assets around the world, really, setting all-time highs. It's because they do not, people are recognizing that they don't want to be in fiat currencies in general, because they're, the US dollar is the bellwether, but I think many of them are in the same shape, right? We've had to print our way out of this COVID situation, and we're not out of it yet.
Yeah, we're definitely not out of the COVID situation yet, guys. It's been a long ride, and we're all burnt out on it, but we're still in it. We're still in it, but we're still surviving. So I hope everybody actually got to have some decent holidays. got some R&R, got to safely see people. Hopefully didn't get sick. I actually did, but it is what it is. I made it out the other side. So
Look good.
yeah, thanks, man. Say glad to see you here and glad everybody here followed us into the new year. And if you're new here, we hope you continue watching as well. Dean, anything else you want to add before we go?
That's all I got.
Wonderful. All right. Well, everybody, stay tuned for another video coming soon and have a wonderful day.